What is up, guys? Ativ here, and in this video, I'll be showing you guys my NFL running backs tier list. Shout out to Unbiased Election Predictions for giving me this idea, and without further ado, let's hop right into it. So at our first running back, I believe that this is Antonio Gibson, and honestly, I'm going to put him in B tier. Now, Antonio Gibson, this guy, he's had some really good games, especially versus the Cowboys. I believe he had like 128 yards and a touchdown versus them. And this guy is doing all this with a terrible O-line. And I mean, while he isn't the greatest running back in the world, I will say he is very good, especially for the team he's on. Like, he's probably their second best offensive player behind Terry McLaurin. And he's one of their best players in general, so yeah, I'll give it to him. Now, this is Cam Akers for the Rams, but we're just going to act like this is Darrell Henderson, alright? And I'm going to put him in C tier. Now, off late, Darrell Henderson, don't get me wrong, he's not the greatest player of all time, but like, he can catch the ball, not amazingly, but he can catch it, and then he can run it. Like, he's a big guy, though, I'll say, he's a big guy. So he's not the fastest because of that, but I don't think that he's the greatest. And he doesn't have the greatest O-line of all time. Well, I do believe he has Andrew Whitworth. His surrounding cast isn't amazing, but I don't think he's amazing either, and that's why I'm just going to put him in C tier for now. Next, we have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And honestly, I'm going to put Clyde Edwards-Helaire above Antonio Gibson on B tier. Now, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's been a breakout rookie. I believe that he was the first running back taken, actually, in the draft, so I mean, he's probably been the second best rookie running back this season. There is one more that we'll talk about who is going to be way later in this video, but he's been really good. But other than that, I think that Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I didn't think that he'd honestly be that good, but he definitely proved me wrong. I believe he's top 5 or top 7 in rushing yards right now. And he has an amazing surrounding cast. That's the only reason I'm not putting him in A. Because but then again, like, there's so many ifs that I could just basically put everyone at F at this point, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep Clyde Edwards-Helaire at B right now. I think that while his surrounding cast is amazing, he's a pretty good player as well, and I think he deserves B tier. Now, David Johnson, I'm going to put you behind Darrell Henderson in C tier. I believe you had like 77 yards in your first game or something like that. So I had high hopes for you, but then you got injured, so I'm not exactly sure how to think of you, but for now I'm just going to put you in C tier. We'll see how you play when you come back, and it's not like you've been injured for the whole season. Like, you've played, but you just haven't played very well, so I'm just going to put you at C tier. David Montgomery, he's had like one good game, but I mean, I don't know what to think about David Montgomery. Like, that offense is trash. I'm deciding. I'll put him on the worst of the C tier for now. Like, you haven't been amazing, but you had one good game, so nothing really spectacular. Then I believe this is James White. James White, I'm sorry for the loss of your father. You do not deserve that at all, and no one deserves that, but I'm gonna have to put you at D tier. Like, you haven't exactly done too much, and if that's not James White, I'm really sorry. Like, I'm not exactly the greatest with faces, you know, like, I don't really get to see players' faces too much, so that's my main reason. But I'm just gonna put James White at D tier. You haven't done too much, but I mean, then again, you can't really do too much when you're on the Patriots at this point. Their offense isn't amazing, and you're one of their better offensive players. Now, this, I believe, is Jonathan Taylor, and if we can find Nyheim Hines here, if we cannot find Nyheim Hines, then I'm just gonna act like Actually, I'll keep Jonathan Taylor as Jonathan Taylor, because I see Marlon Mack. I'll make Marlon Mack and Nyheim Hines, because I guess Nyheim Hines was kind of the Marlon Mack of the season. And I'll put Jonathan Taylor above David Montgomery. Now, Jonathan Taylor, I believe he's a rookie. He hasn't been the greatest player ever either. And it's more like he has been splitting time with Nyheim Hines. When he was playing, he was pretty good, don't get me wrong. I just don't think that he was super good. And, I mean, he has a really good O-line, not gonna lie. Like, Anthony Costanzo is a beast, and then Quentin Nelson, in my opinion, is the best offensive lineman. Oh, wait, no. What was that guy on the Browns? I'm forgetting his name, but, like, it was Taylor Weller or something like that. I'm not sure, but Jonathan Taylor, I'll put you in C. you've been pretty good this season, not gonna lie for a rookie, but you can go there. Leonard Fournette, I'm not really sure how to rank you, honestly. I'll just put you in F because you haven't really been playing. Actually, you had one good game, but you barely even play because of Ronald Jones. If Ronald Jones, why is Ronald Jones not on this list? Oh, there's Ronald Jones. Okay, sorry. But anyways, I'm going to keep you there because you don't really get much playing time with Ronald Jones as their starter. And I mean, the trade was kind of a weird trade. Like, was it a pickup or? I'm pretty sure it was a trade, but Buccaneers don't really do anything with Leonard Fournette, especially because they have Ronald Jones. So I'll just put Leonard Fournette down at the D2. Now, Matt Breida. Myles Gaskins has been getting all the playing time, but Matt Breida, you're going to go in F. I'm salty because I'm a Niners fan and we could have really used you right now, but you haven't done anything. Now, like, if this is Myles Gaskins, who I'm not sure if he's on the list, if you want to make this Myles Gaskins, I can put him at B. Like, he was honestly, the Dolphins' O-line isn't the greatest, and Myles Gaskins, he got a couple of 100-yard games, I believe, and he got quite a few touchdowns as well. I mean, he had 50, I think he had like around 60 yards per game, so maybe not B, but I'll put him at the front of the C tier if it was Myles Gaskins. Since Matt Breida hasn't done anything, I can't really rank him, so I'll just put him at F. Now, Melvin Gordon, I'll put you above David Johnson and C. Like, you had that one game with 120 yards and touchdown, which I believe was on prime time. And I really think that, why did the Broncos get Melvin Gordon? Let's be real here. Yes, Philip Lindsay was injured, and I mean, I'm not sure really how to rank Philip Lindsay either, but he hasn't really been too great this season. But Melvin Gordon, you haven't been too great either. You were able to go in for Philip Lindsay, but the Broncos just making that trade for Melvin Gordon, it was dumb in general. Like, everywhere that I looked, everyone gave it like a D+ as their grade for the trade or whatever, the pickup. Because Melvin Gordon is not better than Philip Lindsay. I'm sorry, but Philip Lindsay's faster. Melvin Gordon could be a bit stronger, but I think that Philip Lindsay's more agile as well. And Philip Lindsay's just better on most cylinders. And I think that Philip Lindsay, I think that it was disrespectful of the Broncos to go out and get Melvin Gordon. He hasn't really done too much, and I'm just going to keep him there. Now, Ronald Jones, I'm putting you at the front of B tier. You're top 5 in yards right now. You had that great game with 192 yards. I believe that you're the 4th player in Bucs history to have a 98-yard run. And yes, recency bias is a thing. But Ronald Jones, I really like you. You're insane in Madden. And I did not realize that you'd be this good, but you had 700 yards last season. I'm pretty sure you're 3rd right now in rushing yards in the league with like 730 already. So yeah, I mean, you're probably gonna get over 1,300, I think, for sure. So Ronald Jones, you deserve B. I'm not gonna put him in A because like he's kind of been inconsistent, so I'm not sure exactly if I can put him in A yet. But maybe at the end of the season, if I do this again, I can put him in A. Now Todd Gurley, you're going at the end of the B. And the reason I'm doing this, yes, he has a lot of yards, but Todd Gurley, you absolute idiot. I mean, okay, I probably would have done if it was me, but Todd Gurley, my guy, you ran out of bounds, or you ran for a touchdown when you weren't supposed to run for a touchdown. Matty Ryan, this dude literally told you in the huddle, whatever you do, don't go for a touchdown on mic'd up. But no, Todd Gurley, he goes for a touchdown. Maybe to pad his stats, I'm not sure, but he lost the game single-handedly there. You don't really get too many 100-yard games. I mean, I believe you had that 1 game with 100 yards on like 6 yards or something and a touchdown, but your O-line isn't the greatest, but it's definitely not the worst. And I'm going to keep you in B because you're probably not going to get more than 1,050 yards, if I'm going to be real with you. Although I do think you're top 5 in yards as well. Now this, I'm pretty sure this is either Darren or Damian Williams. I don't think this is Damian Williams though. If this is Darren, both ways, I don't really know where to rank them because Damian Williams obviously isn't playing this season, and Darren Williams doesn't play at all. So I'm not really sure what to do with you all. So I'll just put you in F. Now I believe this is Devin Singletary. I'm gonna put Devin Singletary at start of C, end of B. Like, you and Zach Moss, you guys have been carrying that rushing offense. And I mean, Devin Singletary, I think that he honestly would have gone 1,100 yards if it weren't for Zach Moss. But I think that the Bills really should trade Devin Singletary because he's a really talented player. He breaks a lot of tackles, and he's just a tank in general. Honestly, I'm debating on whether to put him at the end of C. Or I don't know. Okay, I don't know why it's not doing. Okay, there we are. I'm not sure whether to put him at the end of B or start of C, but I'll just put you at the start of C. Although it's not your fault, you don't get that much playing time. Now, James Conner, I'm going to put you behind Ronald Jones. James Conner, yes, you have a very talented roster around you, but at the same time, you can capitalize on it. You know how to get yards. You have, I believe, 2 games with over 100 yards, or 3 maybe, and last season, I think that you had like around 500. This season, you might already have 500. I'm not sure. But James Conner, I think you deserve to be in B tier. We haven't had any A tier players yet, but I think that one is coming up really soon, honestly. So, yeah. If this is Kerryon Johnson, I'll put you in D because you don't really play that much. Yeah, I think it is Kerryon Johnson. You don't really play too much because of this guy right here, but I'm just gonna keep Kerryon Johnson in D because you don't really do much. Latavius Murray, you're not a bad running back. It's just that you don't get too much playing time either. I can just put you in D as well. Miles Sanders, you're going in A tier. Now, yes, you guys are probably going to be very mad at me right now, but Miles Sanders, this dude is the only player that can actually consistently play very well on that team. His whole O-line's injured, so he doesn't really have an O-line, and he's doing everything for that team. He would probably get 1,300 yards rushing and like 400 yards receiving if it weren't for injuries. But I believe that he and Saquon are the only rookies to ever get 800 rushing yards and 500 receiving yards. And yeah, I'm just gonna have to give it to Miles Sanders. He's playing really well. I think that he's very underrated. And he's the only player that can actually consistently play well on the Eagles. My friend said that, and I definitely agree with him. Now, I believe this is Kevin Coleman. Niners players. Everyone's injured. I'm pretty sure this is Niners player. I don't even want to talk about it right now. If that's not Kevin Coleman, then I'm going to look like an idiot. But, I mean, let's all be real here. Oh, that actually might be Jerick McKinnon. If it's Jerick McKinnon, I can put you in like C tier. If it's Tevin Coleman, I can put you in F. I mean, I look you up, but the point is that Niners first. Like, bro, I'm pretty sure Raheem Mostert has more rushing yards than any player on the Niners. And I mean, let's not talk about that. But anyways, DeAndre Swift, you're not the really good rookie I was talking about. But I can put you at the end of because of how inconsistent you are. You've had like 2 really good games. You can catch and run. But my problem is your inconsistency. If you could consistently be good and get like say 70 yards per game on the rushing side and 30 yards per game on the receiving side, I'd put you in A. Like, don't get me wrong, because that's 1,100 plus rushing yards and 480 receiving yards. Like, that's A-type numbers. And, I mean, you're doing it on the line. So, I don't see why I shouldn't put you there. But I can't put you there right now because of your inconsistency. And, yes, a lot of people are clowning on the Lions for picking him in the second round because a lot of people are saying he's a bust. Well, he proved everyone wrong last game. But I don't think that he'll have a good game this game because of how inconsistent he is. J.K. Dobbins, you can like go right middle of these two. You can get touchdowns. You don't really get yards. I think I'll put you behind David Montgomery. I mean, you don't really do much. The Ravens' rushing game is Lamar or nothing because for some reason they're disrespecting Mark Ingram and never giving him the ball. So he deserves to be traded, I feel like, because he deserves better. Anyways, J.K. Dobbins deserves way more. No, Mark Ingram deserves way more recognition. Anyways, Alvin Kamara, you're going in S tier. You've been the 3rd best running back in the league, in my opinion. You're probably gonna break the record for the most yards from scrimmage And I mean, that's something insane. This dude literally has over 500 rushing and receiving yards, I believe, right now. Oh, and let's not forget, he's not going to get a 1,000 season because of his rushing yards. Kind of like the time that Draymond Green couldn't get a quadruple double in a game because of his points. I mean, like, that's what you're meant to do, right? But no, you can't do it. And honestly, I really like Alvin Kamara. He's one of my favorite players in the league. That's not on the Niners, of course. And Alvin Kamara, I've got a lot of respect for you. I think that you're really good at what you do. Although your O-line is really good, your blockers on the receiving side haven't been the greatest. And I think that you're probably the best receiver on that team right now because Michael Thomas hasn't played at all. So, Alvin Kamara, keep on doing what you do. You're probably going to get more yards than most receivers, actually. So, yeah, you just keep on being a beast. Austin Eckler, now look, I'd be putting him in A if he was healthy for this season. But since he wasn't healthy, I'm not really sure what to do. Like, when he was healthy, he was, I'd say he was top B, maybe A. But I'm going to have to put him in C because he wasn't really healthy. But I will put him above, I'll put him like right here. And honestly, I'll switch David Johnson and Johnson. But I'll put Austin Eckler right there because he hasn't been healthy. But, okay, believe it or not, this guy had 550 rushing yards last season and 993 receiving yards. Yeah, this dude's a beast at receiving. I mean, like, Alvin Kamara, at least he can get more rushing yards. Austin Eckler, bro, that's 1,400 yards from scrimmage, basically. Dude, you gotta chill out. Like, I did not expect you. I was so shocked when I saw that he had near 1,000 receiving yards. And I mean, I'm pretty sure he made to the All-Pro team for being a flex last season. So, Austin Eckler, you're definitely the third best flex, probably behind this guy right here, Christian McCaffrey. And when Christian McCaffrey's healthy, he's S tier. That's all we really hear. But since he hasn't been healthy, when he was healthy, I think that he was S tier, honestly. But I'm just gonna put him in. I'll put him in because he's CMC and everyone likes him, you know. And he was really good when he was healthy, to be fair. Like, he had every single one of his games were good when he was healthy. Just that he wasn't exactly healthy, which is the problem. And I mean, I don't really need to talk about CMC for too long, do I? Dalvin Cook, you're the best running back in the league right now. 954 rushing yards through, 8 games? And that's just different. He's built different. He was injured. This guy literally has, 13 touchdowns through 8 games. I think this guy's season right now reminds me a lot of LaDainian Tomlinson's 2006 season, I believe it was. Because LaDainian Tomlinson, he had 1,815 rushing yards and I believe 28 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook, I believe he has 954 yards right now and 13 touchdowns. So Dalvin Cook, if a quarterback wasn't always the MVP, Dalvin Cook would 100% be the MVP, I think. Next, we have Derrick Henry. I'll put Derrick Henry above Alvin Kamara. Now, Derrick Henry, he's actually averaging 4.6 yards per carry, and I believe he had that one game where he only got around 68 yards on 30 carries. So that's something that he probably doesn't want to talk about, but this dude can single-handedly change the game. That's how good he is. He, Dalvin Cook, and Alvin Kamara. That's what I see the S tier for. They can single-handedly change the game. And those three players, they can single-handedly change the game. I think Derrick Henry's the best at doing that, though. Because, I mean, he can get a 90-yard run just out of nowhere, and it'll be normal for him, you know. That's why I think that Derrick Henry's so good. And this person I know said he was overrated. Yeah, I don't know how you think Derrick Henry's overrated. I'm sorry, but Derrick Henry's not overrated. Next, we have Ezekiel Elliott. I'm not sure whether to put Zeke in front of B or behind Mouse. I'll put you above. I don't know. I'll put you right here. The thing is, Zeke, you haven't actually been talking too much this season, so I'll give you props on that. Only because your team's been trash this season. But Ezekiel Elliott surprisingly has top 5 rushing yard numbers right now. But he hasn't had a single 100-yard game. Just let that sink in. He's in top 5 rushing yards right now, but he hasn't had a single 100-yard game. So how does that work? Consistency, I guess. And honestly, he hasn't been super consistent. Like, he's had 50-yard games and 90-yard games out of the blue. But I'll give Zeke an A for just doing what he did. But he hasn't had a single 100-yard game, of course, and I think that's what is stopping him from having more yards. And I mean, he gets the ball quite frequently, but he and Amari Cooper are basically their only good offensive players right now, because Michael Gallup hasn't done anything. And of course, Dak Prescott got injured. Prayers go up to you. Luckily, he's okay, and he probably will come back next season. So Dak Prescott, I mean, I think that when the team comes back together, Ezekiel Elliott will be either A or right here. Actually, I'll put you right there for now. I think that you may be better than Miles Sanders. Or Ezekiel Elliott, you'll be back here when the team comes back together, probably. Now, Joe Mixon, I'll put you third in B. The thing is, you get the ball so much and you don't get a bunch of yards. I mean, I'm not sure actually how much he's averaging. If you could tell me, that would be amazing. I'll look it up after this video. But Joe Mixon, you've been injured for like back-to-back games. And when you're healthy, I think that you're the best player on that offense. But when you're not healthy, that team's a different team, of course, and not a great team. Nick Chubb, I'm putting you in A. I get that you've been injured for so long, but Nick Chubb, this dude, I think, is... Miles Sanders and Nick Chubb, I think, are the most underrated running backs. The most. Actually, there's one more player we have to talk about. But, I mean, I think that they're both really underrated. No one gives them the respect they deserve, probably because of their team. Although Nick Chubb's team has been doing great this season, let's not lie here. But the team's just different without Nick Chubb as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure that whenever Nick Chubb's on the field, the team has a way higher percent chance of winning. And that's because of how much of a force Nick Chubb is. I mean, you don't imagine just getting in front of Nick Chubb. Bro, this dude can truck you over. He can outrun you. He can do it all. He can probably hurdle over you. That's how athletic he is. He can do it all. Oh, and speaking of athleticism, we have Saquon Barkley, who, I mean, I'm going to put an F, because let's be real here. For like the 2 games he was healthy, he was trash. No offense to Saquon, you probably would have had like 1,400 yards this season. But I'm not putting you in F because you were trash, and you weren't really trash. It's just me hating on you for no reason. I'm putting you in F because you didn't really play that much, and I can't really put you anywhere else. Aaron Jones, A. I mean, Aaron Jones, you've been great this season. You can do everything. The Packers have such a good offense. Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, and Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Jones, you're probably the 3rd best player on that offense. And that's when you know that an offense is good. But Aaron Jones, keep on doing what you do. A lot of people like you. And yeah, especially Packers fans. Like Packers fans love Aaron Jones. Chris Carson, I'm not sure what to do about this guy. Like, I'm pretty sure he's averaging around 4.5 yards per carry. He's hovering around here and here. I'll just put you above DeAndre. The thing is, you've been injured as well a bunch, so I'm not sure what to do with you. Although you weren't injured as much as McCaffrey, I believe, so I'll put you above him for that. But when you have been healthy, you haven't been as good as I expected. Like last season, you had 1,230 yards in 15 games. This season, it's not like that at all. But I do think that you're one of the more underrated running backs as well, although I hate to admit it. People really don't give you the respect you deserve. Like, you've had, I believe, 2 1,200-yard games, and you didn't even make the Pro Bowl. So, I mean, yeah, that's just how disrespectful you are. Josh Jacobs. I think I'll put you above Miles Sanders. You've been really good as well. I mean, I think you've had like 300-yard games. You had a lot of touchdowns. You know what you're doing. I think Josh Jacobs has a very high IQ. He's very young. He has a lot of potential I think that he can honestly get a 1,600-yard season. Like, it's just that he doesn't get the ball as much as I think he deserves to. Although he has been injured a bit, and I think he's still in top 5 for rushing yards. So, I'll give credit to Josh Jacobs where credit is due. You've been really good. Next is Kareem Hunt. I'll put Kareem Hunt in. I'll put you in B. Like, you haven't been as good as Nick Chubb, but that's saying a lot because not many people are as good as Nick Chubb. Actually, I'll put Nick Chubb above. They've both been injured, but anyways. Kareem Hunt, you can run in and catch the ball. I just don't think that you can do it on the same level as Nick Chubb. And I think that you're a B player because of the fact that while you can do both, you can't really get wins for your team, and you can't really change the game like Nick Chubb can. And I should stop comparing you to Nick Chubb. I think that, honestly, Joe Mixon, you're probably better than Joe Mixon right now, but I don't think that you're as good as James Conner or Ronald Jones. I think that Ronald Jones, you can make a case for him being an A tier. And I actually have no clue why, but James Conner can stay right there. But anyways, I don't think that you're as good as these two players, and that's why I'm putting you there at B. Now, Kenyon Drake, I'll put you in B. I mean, I expected a lot more from you this season, and I mean, there have been a lot of injuries, Kenyon Drake. I think that, I'm not sure between, I can just put you there. You have definitely been, like, towards the end of last season, you were a great player. And a lot of people expect you to do that this season, but you haven't really. And that's the main reason I'm putting you there. You haven't even came close to my expectations. I don't even know if you're going to get 1,000 yards. Well, you probably will get 1,000 yards this season, just not too much above 1,000 yards. So I can't really put you in there. And I'll leave you on bell. I'll put you in F. You haven't really done anything. Mark Ingram, as much as I hate to admit, I'll put you in F. More than that, you've been injured this whole season, so I'll put you in F. Philip Lindsay, I'll put you towards the end of B, because you haven't really done too much for the time you've been healthy. Raheem Mostert, I'd put you in S since I'm a Niners fan, and you've been amazing while you were healthy. You got 92 yards and a touchdown and a half versus the Jets. But I'm gonna have to put you in I'll put you right here for now. Oh, by the way, I'll put Austin Eckler above David Johnson. And, okay, so this is Chris Thompson. I believe he's number 34 on the Jaguars. But I'm going to act like this is James Robinson, and I'm going to put you at the front of B. Now, this is the rookie that I was saying is probably the best rookie running back this season. This dude has been a beast. James Robinson, you see that right there, right? This guy, I think that he has been the most underrated running back. Yes, I said that these two were, but I think that James Robinson, you don't get the credit you deserve. And I mean, you're on the Jaguars. You have a crappy O-line, but you have 580 rushing yards, and you're a rookie, bro. You're gonna get near 1,200. And while I don't think you'll make the Pro Bowl, I think that a lot of people like you, and you do deserve to make not the All-Pro, but maybe the Pro Bowl. But anyways, thank you for watching. Sorry for this video being so long. Tier videos do usually take a long time, but this is my tier list, I guess you could say. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.